Oh, we're so excited.
Hi, Addison. There's
I know, you're so excited.
Mrs. Darling.
Hi guys.
Addison.
Have you guys all put your microphones on mute? Because we can hear lots of talking, and I'm so glad you got to say hi to each other, but then it makes it hard for us to hear. Thank you.
How do we mute this?
It looks like this. It's at the very bottom of your screen.
Uh-oh. Now all I see is ourselves. There we go. Okay, we figured it out.
Good job.
Okay, is she supposed to be?
We're going to wait just a few more minutes to make sure everybody can get on, okay? I see some familiar faces.
There are 30 forms that we can only see in the
Come on, Olivia.
So may I ask a question before we
Sure.
start? So are you going to be the teacher for this class?
So all of us are here. I am the remote teacher, so I'm going to talk about the remote things first, and then we have the other three teachers here, the hybrid teachers. So we're kind of rolling this all into one for first grade. So I'll start by talking about remote, and then the hybrid teachers are going to jump in. Yeah.
Mrs. Donnelly.
Hi, Mrs. Donnelly.
Oh, hi. Is that Annabelle? You guys are, I can't tell which is what.
That's Annabelle.
That's Annabelle. Okay, hi Annabelle.
I know.
Hey.
All right, we should be. Is it recording? Yes. All right. So I still hear a few more voices. If you guys could find your microphone and just mute that for us, please. Thank you so much. Olivia, can you find your microphone, sweetie?
No.
What?
All right. So maybe if I sit down, you can see my whole face. Thank you. So I am Mrs. Donnelly, and I'm going to be the remote teacher. So we have 4 first grade teachers, and 3 of our first grade teachers are going to be the hybrid teachers, and I'm going to be the teacher for the kids who chose remote. So if you chose remote, I'm going to talk a little bit first, and then I have Miss Anderson and the other teachers to talk about the hybrid. Okay, so we're trying to social distance and use it. If you are a remote student, can you put your hands on your head so I can see if you're going to be in my class? Oh my goodness. I can't see everybody on my screen, but I see that we have 32 people here. Great. So remote is going to look different than what e-learning did last year. E-learning is when you were able to get on your module whenever you had time. Maybe it was in the evening and you had activities to do. Remote learning is different, where we're going to, it is required that the kids get on there, be teaching things live, and they're going to be interacting with one another. We do have a large class. Looks like I'm frozen. We have 31 students, so we're all going to need to make sure that we are following Google expectations, and we will definitely go over that on our first Google Meet, but you did receive a copy in your blue folder of the Google expectations, and they're just like classroom expectations, where Mrs. Donnelly is going to make sure that you are on time. You need to be on time to the Google Meet. You need to be prepared and ready to learn, okay? And just like, we're going to pretend you're in the classroom, but you're at home. So hopefully you found a good quiet spot. Mrs. Donnelly, even at her, we can learn. So I hope you're finding some, you're going to use Canvas. That's where you can find button, and you're going to find on Tuesday when I get to see you tomorrow, okay? And in that lesson, it'll tell you what our code is for our first Google Meet. We also need to remember, as Mrs. Donnelly, as a teacher, as parents and students, we need to be patient with one another. This is new for everyone. No one has ever done remote teaching before or hybrid teaching. So it's going to take some time for parents and kids to learn how to get on Google Meets. We might have problems with technology, and Mrs. Donnelly might have a problem. So we just need to be patient with one another. If you can't get on the first Google Meet, don't panic. It's okay. And if that wasn't right on cue, we lost our server right there. So things like that can happen. So we just all need to be patient. I will be patient. You need to be patient, and we'll all get it figured out. Okay. In remote learning and in hybrid learning, we're going to be introducing new apps, but we're going to do it slowly. So the first one you're going to do is Seesaw. And I talked to all your kindergarten teachers, and guess what? They told me you already know how to use Seesaw. So you're going to be really good at that. And I'll do a little refresher, and I know your other teachers will do a refresher on how to use Seesaw. And at the end, I'm going to ask you, you have some homework tonight already. Oh my goodness. You have to get your Seesaw set up tonight. So we're going to show you how to do that at the very end, okay? So at the end, we'll also have some time if you have questions for us. But right now, I know Mrs. Donnelly talks fast and has a lot to say, but I want the other three teachers to have a chance to talk to and for you to ask us some questions. So next up is Miss Anderson, and she's going to be one of the hybrid teachers, okay? It's still recording.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. There's definitely a lot of important information to go over, especially before we start our first day tomorrow with so many of you doing the virtual learning or remote learning. So I'm just going to go over a couple of things for the hybrid kids and what the expectations are as far as Canvas goes for their at-home modules. So the first thing is that please make sure you're following the directions on the Canvas module pages, because there will be activities shared for both groups of kids, but both groups of kids may not have the same assignment requirements. However, I mean, like as far as Seesaw goes, they're more than welcome to do all of the activities. They just won't be required for both groups of kids. The second thing is please remember to be patient, and we're going to be patient as well. This is so new for everybody, and we are trying our best to plan and make sure that everything is organized, but things keep getting thrown at everybody all last minute. So we're just going to try our best, and it will take us a little bit of time to get into a routine here. Communication on the days when students are learning at home may not be as frequent as it was this past spring, just because while the kids are learning at home, we will still be teaching in class. So we will get to your questions or concerns as soon as possible. And the hybrid teachers will be available during a Google Meet every single day from 2:45 until 3:15. So if you're at home doing your learning at home and you have any questions, all of the hybrid teachers will be on a Google Meet at that time. So we will send out those codes to you so that you can join in and ask any questions that you have. Occasionally, there could be times where your teacher has a second Google Meet scheduled. This could be whole group, small group, or an individual conference, but your teacher will communicate that with you. And my last thing is that the first week of Canvas modules are going to look very different than what a normal week will look like, just because it's the first week. We're trying to ease back. We're trying to make sure that everybody is able to get logged in and get to the activities and understands how to do the assignments and understands how to work with Canvas. From then on, content and expectations are going to be much greater than what it was in the spring, just because we are supposed to be teaching them the Canvas modules the same day that we're teaching in class. So it's important that they make sure that they are doing those Canvas modules the day that they're assigned, so that when it's their time to come back to class, they haven't missed anything. And it most likely will be time consuming because it's supposed to mimic what we're teaching in class that day. And I'm going to turn it over to Miss Arrigo. She is another hybrid teacher.
Hi everyone, I am Miss Arrigo and I am a hybrid teacher. So we want you guys to know that we have the same expectations of in class as we do with you guys virtually at home. So that means when we give you guys assignments or homework, it's due the next day. And this is the same expectation as completing assignments on Canvas. So when we assign you something on Canvas, we expect you to have it completed by the next day. We also will not be doing snacks, so you don't need to send your child with a snack to school. But make sure they bring a water bottle. We do have new water bottle filling stations around the school. And our classroom drinking fountains will be off. So it's really important that they bring a water bottle every single day. Please put their name on the water bottle. That'd be very helpful. And they're going to be bringing them back and forth every single day. So make sure you send them with it every day. And then we also suggest having some supplies at home when they're doing assignments virtually, such as paper, pencil, crayons, glue, or scissors. We will not require it, but we do suggest it because we think it'll be really helpful when they're completing parts of the at-home learning modules. All right, I'll turn it over to Ms. Hasselberger.
Hi, boys and girls. My name is Miss Hasselberger. I'm also teaching hybrid this year, and I'm so excited to see some of you in my class. Maybe it will be Tuesday, or maybe it will be on Thursday. First thing I would like to cover is wearing our masks at school. We're going to practice the proper way to wear those, and I hope you get used to keeping them on all day long. It is required by the district that the students keep them on throughout the whole day. So we are suggesting that your child has at least 2 clean masks with them. Maybe they can keep one in their backpack. They're going to bring them home every day. We want them to have an extra one in case something happens, if it gets dirty. Another thing I want to talk about is this binder. It will be labeled with your child's name. They're going to bring it home every other day, technically. And we're going to use this as daily communication. So they'll be bringing home notes or anything that we need to send home. So make sure you check it every single night. There also are a couple pages in here, and you'll be able to see this more clearly when you get it, to help them track their progress with math facts and reading goals. The most important folder is the blue e-learning folder that's going to be in there. We might, as hybrid teachers, might be sending stuff home for them to use to complete their modules for the 2 or 3 days that they are at home. You can check it every night, but you don't need to use anything in there unless it says on Canvas to go to your e-learning folder and find that information. Mrs. Donnelly is going to come back and give you guys your homework.
I have a quick question, if that's okay. Why aren't we doing snacks?
It's a school-wide policy just because too many of the kids need help opening snacks and things like that.
Yeah.
And because we've lost a half hour in our school day, that was one thing that we had to eliminate.
Okay, I was just curious.
And we're only seeing them 2 to 3 days a week. And we go to lunch. They go to lunch earlier than they did in kindergarten, so they won't have to wait as long to eat.
And with the hybrid schedule, is recess eliminated to a
No.
quiet time?
No, they will get recess, but they are required to wear their mask at recess. Sorry, there's an
Linda,
announcement.
if you're still in the building, can you be in the cafeteria with the heavy duty cake, please? Linda, if you're still in the building, please be in the cafeteria with some heavy duty cake.
So what they're going to do is they're going to hand sanitize their hands before they go out for recess. They are required to wear their masks. That is state law. And then they will hand sanitize their hands when they come in from recess. Okay?
Okay.
Your homework tonight So this is mom and dad and students together. You're going to find your Seesaw app. And you did Seesaw in kindergarten. If you're new to the district, you might not have this yet, and we will help you get it. So if you don't have it, but you're going to find your Seesaw app, and each teacher is going to send a new code because you're not in kindergarten anymore. We got to get you in our first grade class. So you're going to tap at the very top, and it's going to ask you for your code. So up here in the corner, I'm going to tap it, and it will say join class. It'll show your teacher's class name. You're going to tap it, and then it's going to ask for the code, okay? Or it might even say, I'm a teacher, I'm a student. Well, you're a student, so you'll tap, I'm a student, and then you're going to type in that code that your teacher will send you after our meeting, okay? Because guess what? We already have things on Seesaw for you to do tomorrow. We have an activity, so we need to practice that, okay? And the other thing that I just saw my notes, there is an attendance portion on remote and hybrid students. So you need to make sure that you take that attendance each day. So you're marked present at school. I think Miss Anderson has one more thing, and then we're going to open it up to more questions, okay?
The bus.
One last thing, if your child is doing the hybrid and is going to be coming to school, if you could please dojo message your child's teacher, if you have not already, just to confirm their dismissal route. The first day of school is always really crazy, and it's always helpful for us to get that ahead of time so we can make sure that they all go home the right way. Anybody else have anything to add? Are there any other questions from the students or parents?
So you said recess is still a go.
Yes.
No problem there. How is lunch gonna look? They wear masks, obviously, to get there, and then they're gonna, like, how are we gonna do lunch?
For lunch, they will wear their masks until they're at their seat. Once they're at their seat, they're free to take their mask off and eat their lunch. And then when they are finished eating, they have a designated spot in the cafeteria until they wait for their teacher to come pick them up.
And they are sitting in desks this year, which is different to social distance them. There's no tables, and all the lunches are already prepackaged and boxed, so they're not choosing items if they go through the line.
They could still bring their own lunch if they choose to?
Yes.
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 What if a student loses their mask for the day?
We have extras. We have extras if they get lost or if they get dirty. But please, if possible, if you have extras at home, it's always a good idea to send them with two. That way they have one that they're wearing and an extra in their backpack.
Gotcha. And then say that we decided to drop our kids off and pick them up with our cars. What if we decide to choose to have them ride the bus one day instead? Do we just dojo you that info for the day that they want to ride a bus instead of a car pickup?
Yeah, if there are any dismissal changes, well, if you could please always make sure you contact the office just in case we don't have time throughout the day to double check our dojo messages. That way we can make sure that we know which way your child is going home. So if you have any dismissal changes, make sure that you send that to the office. You can also dojo message us, but always do the office as well.
Awesome. And then another thing, I always like to volunteer. Are we doing any kind of volunteering this year for like reading or any kind of parent volunteering?
As of now, at the current level that Duland is entering, there will be no visitors allowed. This includes lunch visitations, recess visitations, classrooms, stuff like that. We aren't even able to take field trips at the moment. However, if there was something that you wanted to do as far as maybe being a guest reader, that's always something that we could schedule for you to record yourself reading, and then we can share that with our classes that way.
Okay. And I think that could conclude all the questions I have. You have any questions, Miles? No? Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and mute and let someone else ask questions.
Okay.
I have a question. For those students who are on the hybrid model starting on Thursday, are we supposed to look at the Seesaw app for what they're supposed to be doing tomorrow, or do we look at Canvas first?
go to Canvas first, and Canvas it's very organized. Everything's organized by buttons. So there's a resource button, there's a lessons button. What else is on there? There's the attendance button. What else? And the attendance button needs to be taken whether they're at school or at home. That's for everybody.
But yes, you're going to go
yes.
to Canvas tomorrow, and it will tell you what your hybrid kids will be doing at home. And like she said earlier, it's not typical. It is much lighter because they need to see the kids first and give more instruction. So there will be things on Canvas to do tomorrow.
But the Canvas module will lay everything out. It gives every title for the Seesaw activity that's required. So it's pretty easy to follow.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Nolan's dad. I have a question about what's going to be the distance between the desks in the lunchroom and classroom?
6 feet.
Yep, they are 6 feet.
Everything is 6 feet in the classroom and the lunchroom.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mrs. Donnelly, this is Laughlин's mom.
Hi.
Hi. So I have questions about the Google Meets. Are there going to be some, like every morning, are you going to give the times that we need to be there?
Yeah.
And the passwords for each one? Because I go to work, I have to be at work by 9. So to have those written down for her so they could be ready would be nice.
Yes. So today in Dojo, I sent home the schedule of when the Google Meets. The district is asking that each Google Meet take place. And in the Canvas module, each Google Meet will have its own password. But yes, those are all laid out in the Canvas module. If there is an instant they can't attend one of the Google Meets, participation is required, but I will be recording them again, and you can watch them later. But it's strongly encouraged that she attends all the Google Meets.
Okay.
But passwords will be laid out.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else?
I had a question. Kira's mom. Just to piggyback off of Ashley. So with the Google Meets, will those be, I saw the schedule this morning, will they be about an hour long each, or will they be maybe shorter than that?
At the beginning, they will be shorter.
Okay.
But towards when we really get into it, they will be an hour.
Okay.
But yes, we usually just go gradual, and none of us have been in school for 5 months, so even Mrs. Donnelly needs to ease her way back in there. So we will go slow, and then it will be about an hour.
Okay, but it'll be those 3 kind of like morning sections that you had.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have a question?
I have a question.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm Mila's mom. So the remote students who aren't doing hybrid and the hybrid students are going to be all on one Google Meet in the morning with Mrs. Donnelly?
I only have the remote students, so only the remote students. The hybrid kids will not be doing their Google Meets with me. No, I only have the remote students.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else?
What time the class will start tomorrow? 8:30?
Correct. The first Google Meet for remote is at 8:30 a.m.
And students who's homeschooling, they need to come to school anytime, or how we get the paperwork and anything?
Excuse me?
Hold on one second. Can you repeat your second part of your question?
The kids who choose the homeschooling, they need to come to school too anytime, or no?
No, we are all at home.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Gage, do you have a question, Gage?
Yeah.
What would you like to ask?
What is our teacher's name?
You, Gage, get Miss Arrigo, our new first grade teacher. She's brand new to Yoast. You are so lucky.
Okay.
You want to see her face real quick? I'll let her pop in.
Hi.
Hi. I will see you soon.
I know Miss Arrigo. I know your sister, Miss Arrigo.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
I've known Matt Sharp forever, so I know
Oh
who
my
you
gosh. That's so cool.
I'm so excited you got to join Yoast. Congratulations. I love Yoast.
I'm so excited.
How many students are there approximately in the classrooms for the hybrid learning plan?
There are about anywhere between 9 to 11 kids each day. So A through K has about 9 to 11 kids depending on the classroom, and L through Z has about 9 to 11 depending on the classroom that they're in.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I have a quick question. This is Olivia White's mom. Hi. Hi. Question. So the days that Olivia is supposed to be she's doing the hybrid, the day she's supposed to be remote, to be in school with the childcare, is there going to be a teacher in there helping her with the attendance and all that stuff? Otherwise, I don't know how that's going to work.
I'm not sure of all the finalized details on that. I know that there will be an aide in there. I'm just not sure how the scheduling and stuff will work with that. So I would email Mr. Hewitt with your question to see if he can give you more clarity on that.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Someone was just messaging me via Class Dojo about homework. A lot in first grade, we have shied away from homework. Most of the homework is reading. So later on, you will get access to a virtual library of level books. So we ask that the kids read every night and practice math facts. So that is the typical homework in first grade. You might have some activities. I mean, especially with remote kids, you're doing everything at home, but anything extra will be reading and math facts. Any other questions? We are so excited to see you guys. Go ahead.
Sorry, Addison's mom. Say hello.
Hi.
I didn't see anything about gym shoes. Are they just supposed to bring in like normal and like leave them there?
You know what? We have not heard this year either. Typically we hear, and I believe they do not want us to leave anything extra here at school. So nothing left in the because, you know, the next day some new kids are going to come there. We will ask Mr. Bassett about that and we'll let everyone know.
Okay, and then I have a question for Mrs. Is it Hasselberger? I'm sorry.
Hasselberger. I'll get her. Yes, Miss Hasselberger.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. So Addison's doing the hybrid schedule. She goes to you tomorrow, but I know last year she got an IEP working with Mrs. King also. And is Mrs. King going to be in there during the hybrid as well?
Yeah. I can communicate more on that with you later, but I have been in contact with her, and when she is at home, she will also have assignments for Mrs. King to complete when she's at home as well.
Okay, perfect. Sorry.
Okay, do we have any last questions?
Bye, Addison.
So just make sure that you are looking in a little bit for your Seesaw code that's going to come home, and try to get signed up with your teacher. If you have any questions, you can message us through Class Dojo. But we know that you're going to have questions. We know we have questions that we just all need to be patient with one another. Everyone's trying their very best, and we're all navigating this together. So we know it's going to be a great year. It's just going to be different. So we're glad you were able to join in with us today. So we will see some of them tomorrow on the computer, and some will get to come to Yoast tomorrow. And just make sure you have your mask and you're ready to use lots of hand sanitizer. And okay, it'll be a great year. We're going to make it even though it's different.
I do have one more question.
Yeah.
Say that we have any technology issues like iPad damage or iPad doesn't want to charge. What do we do with that type of issue?
We do have a button in our Canvas that it links you to ways you can resolve those. We have what we even as teachers use is a fresh service ticket, and it goes straight to the IT department. And you will have access to that. We'll give you that email that if you have any problems, you should contact the Fresh service, and that's built into our Canvas module. There's also, what is our other option?
Because I know most of us still have our same iPads that we've had for a long time, so I was just curious.
I know.
Throw that out.
Yeah. So just, yeah, you just have to contact IT because we are certainly not your IT department. All right. Anybody
I
else?
have a question.
Yeah.
What do we do as far as like doctor appointments go? Because we actually have one this coming week. So if they're going to miss a portion of the day, will they be able to come back and do that after their appointment?
I would definitely call the office and let them know. Yes, but I mean, typically when you have a doctor's appointment, you can come back. So I would just, in the morning of the doctor's appointment, call the office to let them know you're either not coming in the morning or you're coming later in the day.
Well, we're actually the remote model.
Oh, okay.
If he's coming in late to one of your Google Meets or something, should I just give you a heads up or?
Just send me a dojo message and I will be able to mark it that he, you know, had a doctor's appointment. Yes, thank you. That's a great question.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, I will be recording all our live videos too. But the goal is that kids are all there with me, but I will record them.
Ellen, did you know we played Carson after on moving?
Right? Well, we will look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. All right? Can we all give a big wave goodbye, and we'll see you tomorrow in first grade.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you so much.